Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong. I'm not that strong.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy DreSays, and welcome back to the DreSays Podcast. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I almost didn't do an episode for this week. Not because what I want to talk about is like an issue or anything. I just honestly have been tired. Between the day job, between doing other stuff for people, and like I got photo projects due, and I did another podcast the other day, and just life in general. And it's hot as a motherfucker the last couple of days. I almost didn't do one. And then I woke up this morning, literally this morning, way before 10 o'clock, and was like, you know what, Dre? You need to go ahead and knock this shit out. So if you're looking at this, if you're watching the video, you see the sun hitting my face on top of my lights that I have in here. That's because I never record during the daytime. So this is the first episode during the daytime. But anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about today is because we getting close to that time, and I'm seeing a lot of photos and videos of graduations, to be honest with you. And it kind of just brings me back to when I was younger, like the kids getting out of high school, kids going to college, stuff like that. It just brings me back to when I was younger. And I love my parents. I really do. I love and I appreciate them for everything that they did for me. But the way that they were taught the world works is not the way that the world worked for me. The way that they were shown how you got to get through life to have a better life is not the way it worked out for me. So I have to essentially free my thoughts on y'all and let y'all know that when you're dealing with your children, and I know it's coming from a motherfucker who ain't got no kids, but when you're dealing with your children and their potential future, you make sure that you keep that into consideration, that maybe the path that you took, maybe the direction that you were given may not be for them. Let me elaborate. Y'all know my mother, Maddie. Y'all saw her on the last episode, right? I also was brought up by my stepfather, Miguel, who is, he immigrated from Dominican Republic, right? And then there's my real father, Mark Walker. God rest his soul. My mother is a very smart and educated woman. My stepdad was the hustler. And it's crazy because they're from two different worlds, right? Like, my mom was very educational. Like, I think she mentioned in the last episode, she was able to graduate high school early by like a year. My stepdad was the hustler dude who got his GED from MCC and ended up retiring in the corporate world through just being able to be him and hustle, right? Like mentally and like being able to essentially assert himself in there with the help of my mother, because my mother's a very intelligent woman. So, right? My father, my blood father, Mark Walker, was a very educated man. He was in the Coast Guard, graduated from college, always had like IT jobs. Like he was a very educated man, very smart man, naturally for him, right? And you have my sister, who both of my sisters actually are brilliant, like just brilliant ass fucking people. High school, no problem. College, no problem. Just brilliant ass people. My older sister Rochelle has her MBA. She's working for the state. Like my younger sister Erica, for the longest time, worked for a major communication company and like was a boss. Like, you see what I'm saying? So like, it's just natural for them. And then you have someone like myself, where I'm not stupid by any means. I'm a very educated person. I'm very intelligent. It's natural, but school's not for me. school was never for me. Only reason why I like being in school is because of the people who were at school. I could care less about the studies. I would go to school and not pay attention and never do my homework and then go and pass the test with no problem. You know when I found out I graduated from high school? I don't even know if my mom noticed. I found out I graduated high school from 2 years before my, or 2 weeks before my graduation. Not because I didn't know this stuff. I definitely knew it. But because I was waiting for my last test to come in because I didn't do none of the work throughout the whole year. And I had to go wait outside my counselor's office for my test results to come in to make sure that I got a B or higher to pass economics and be able to graduate. Right. It's just not for me. It wasn't for me. And again, I brought this topic up because I need y'all to think about this. Y'all have these minds that y'all are trying to mold. And it's cool to mold, but when you're trying to force something into a mold, you might break that fucking mold. You might break the thing that you're trying to force into the mold. Again, I love my parents to death. They had nothing but the greatest intentions for me. But the only reason why I spent the first 3 years after high school trying to get through college is because of them. I didn't want to be there. It wasn't beneficial to me. It wasn't for me. I knew that, but I also knew back home I had an immigrant stepfather who was telling me you need a college education to get anywhere in life. I had a mom who had went through the education system that said, yo, you need to get your college degree so you can have anything in life. I had a sister who was excelling. My older sister was excelling in college to get that better life. I had a younger sister who I would get phone calls from my father before I passed telling me how great she's doing in school. And I know they meant nothing by that. I know they meant nothing by it. But that's a lot of fucking pressure. That's a lot of, how do I say this in the right way? That's a lot of, I mean, there's no other way. That's a lot of pressure. I mean, me being the only boy in my family, me being taught that as a man I need to provide, and then me only knowing what they're telling me, like, yo, you gotta get this education, and knowing that I'm just not built for that. And it's cool. Like I said, this is no shot at anybody who was involved in raising me, none at all, because y'all knew what y'all knew. Y'all knew that y'all parents didn't have that. Y'all knew that if your parents didn't have that and you didn't want to be where they were at, so the only other solution was to do better than them. And I know I hear it all the time, and people say they want their kids to do better than them. I totally understand that. But as y'all starting to get your kids into school, as you getting them to start in school, and so if you're getting them to finish school, like they finish in high school, make sure you realize some people just ain't made for that next level of education. Some people's way into the world to be successful isn't through that next level of education. Myself, bro, I didn't finish college. No. I wasted a good 3 to 4 years. I'll tell you that right now. I wasted money and I wasted time. And I wasted other people's time. Once I realized it was a waste of time, I did what I had to do. I went out, I got jobs. I hustled, made money here and there, found a career. Um, and then the crazy part about it is once I found that career and the money came with that career, I was able to open my mind into the things that I actually want to do in life, i.e., fly definition, DreSays, clothing brand, my podcast, traveling. I can honestly say if I would have stayed in school and suffered through it, because that's what it was for me. It was suffering. It wasn't I didn't. There was nothing about it I enjoyed. The only thing I enjoyed about college is that I knew some people that went there. That was it. Other than that, like I didn't enjoy no part of that shit. But if I'd have went through it, suffered, got that degree, it would have been cool to say, "Yo, I got this degree." But I could have missed out on some shit. I would have never got that job at Finish Line. I'll tell you that. I'd have never met my business partner, my best friend, and my brother Terrell. This shit, he would have probably did this. I wouldn't be a part of it. There'd have been no DreSays. Who knows? Maybe I'd have got a fucking corporate job still, like I have now. I wouldn't be happy though. I wouldn't be happy. And I know the world's changing a little bit. I know people are understanding that. I know people are starting to get it, especially with like the pandemic hitting and shit. You have colleges now that aren't even looking at SAT scores. Cool. I'm glad everybody's getting. I got a phone call the other day and got invited to talk to a student about options beyond that from a educator friend of mine who had a student that was like, "Yo, they're not looking to go to college. They're looking to be an entrepreneur and get their own shit going, and they need some guidance I can't give them because I'm an educator." And the fact that she knew that was fucking amazing. And I jumped on it. Yeah, I got you. No problem. Because this shit ain't for everybody. That shit ain't for everybody. I'm just asking, when you talk to your kids, when you're getting them ready for if they tell you wholeheartedly, and not that you get kids every day to wake up, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be here. I just ask, you know what I mean? Make sure you filter through the bullshit of them saying they don't want to go to school and realize if they're really not made for it, if it's really not a thing for them, because it could just not be for them. I have a ton of friends right now that don't have college educations that can provide for their families and live a very great life. And then I have friends who have college educations and don't have a fucking job in the field that they went to school for, or are barely making it, or are sitting on unemployment right now, or some that are just depressed and not happy. So you got to look into this future, because I know you're trying to help your children build a future for themselves. You got to look into this future that you're trying to help them build and ask yourself, am I trying to help them build the best future for them, or am I trying to imprint what I wasn't able to do onto them, or what I was able to do onto them? Because yes, they're your child. Yes, they have your genes. They may act, they may talk like you, but they're not you. They're not you. They're not your parents. They're not your siblings. They're not your friends. They are them. They are them. I wish I would have had the knowledge of what I know now and what I'm good at and what I like to do. I wish I'd have known that and what I was passionate about back when I was 17, 18 years old. I'd have left high school and hit the ground fucking running. But everybody has that feeling. Oh, I wish I knew what I know now back then. So what I do is when people ask me, "Yo, what do you think of this? What makes you happy? Is this what you want to do?" When these kids ask me, because kids ask me as soon as they find out, yo, like, "Oh yeah, you own a clothing brand, you're doing a podcast, like you do photography, videography, like what?" They ask 18-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids, "Yeah, that's what I want to do." Cool. Everybody wants to shun the like workforce people too. Like, get the fuck out of here. We need people like that in this world. If we didn't have the day-to-day workers that were just making enough money to live a good, decent life, we wouldn't have half of the shit we have in this world. I know you want the best for your kids. I know you want the best for your family members, but you gotta want what's best for them. You gotta want what's best for them. And don't ever take your eye off of that prize. Because what you figure is best may not be what's best for them, or may not be what makes them happy. I think I've talked about this on Instagram before. Your version of success is not the next man's. I know plenty of people that are just fucking happy living a regular ass life, having an apartment or a mortgage on a house, having a wife and some kids, just living a regular ass life. They're happy with that. So don't force your idea of what success is on your children, on family members, friends, on anybody. That's your idea of success. And if you didn't reach that, that's on you. Don't make them pay for what you weren't able to do for yourself. Listen, I almost didn't get on and do this one. And that would have been doing myself and everybody listening an injustice. With this graduation season approaching, or here already, actually, I want to first say congratulations to all my friends and their children who graduated. Your kids who graduated from high school, my friends that graduated from college. I got homies getting MBAs, bro. I'm super proud of y'all. I'm super happy for y'all. I know I'm out here talking that shit because it's not for me, just like it may not be for other people, but I just want y'all to realize that it's not for everybody. But I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all because y'all put in the work, not because of the title that came after that shit. I'm proud of y'all because this is something that y'all wanted to do and y'all thugged it through that motherfucker to get it done. I'm super proud of you. I was super proud of my sister when she graduated. When my sister got her MBA, I was happy as fuck. When my younger sister graduated from high school, we flew down to that motherfucker, man. Like, listen, I'm super, super happy for that shit. I just also want y'all to realize it ain't for everybody. As always, I love y'all. Thanks for watching, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like. Yo, I just did one of the dopest podcasts the other day. I'm gonna post a link in the bottom of this one too, bro. Shout out to the Savage Squad, man. Yo, thank you for having me on y'all podcast. They had a sneaker contest and they elected me to be a judge because they had heard that I had some fire over here. I'm gonna bring them on the show though. They're definitely gonna be on the DreSays podcast. By the way, we're hitting the 1 year mark of this motherfucker, man. So give yourselves a round of applause for listening in, for watching my shit, for reposting my stuff, for liking my stuff. Who the fuck would have thought I would have made it a year when it took me years to get to this point? When it took me years to actually sit down and do this shit, when it took a fucking pandemic to push me into doing this. Who would have thought we'd have made it this far? But we did, y'all. We made it. But I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday, man. And don't forget, just because you think of it as success, just because you think it's the right path, does not mean it's for everybody. I love y'all. Peace.
Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong. I'm not that strong.